This video, I'm going to talk about space in League of Legends. I'm going to teach you guys what space is and how you can use this as a strategy to win your lane at level 1 as well. What is space? It's literally room to play on. And the reason why it's so powerful is because of the fact that we get, number one, first access to minion waves. First access to minion waves gives us more control on the wave, and it gives us more control of when we want to time our trades. So it's going to give us wave control and trade control. And that is going to allow us to get lane control. And remember, I've talked about lane control so often. It's the thing that you're going to try to get every single lane, because it's going to give you the ability to roam and impact on the map and have impact. If you don't have lane control, it's pretty hard for you to have impact in the game. So that's why it's so important to get up space in the lane. Another reason why space is so important is to a different part of trading. You've all heard of spacing. If someone is clicking into you, they are at a shorter range comparatively towards if you're clicking away from someone, because most abilities and outtakes and stuff like that have a cast time. So if you are already in a position and someone's clicking into you, it's just simpler, it's easier to land your skill shot, and it gives you an unfair advantage. I'm going to show you guys an example right here of why space is so good and why Xerath has already lost lane at level 1, even though that he doesn't know it yet. In this case, what I'm doing is I'm early on the lane. He lands a beautiful Q onto me. He deals an insane amount of damage. But this is completely fine for me, because as you can see that I'm more aggressively posted towards him, and I've already hit the minions while he has not hit the minions. So what I can do right now is I can manage the minion waves in such a way that I create myself a trading window. So what I do is I make sure that my minion dies before his. So I clear this minion. This minion is now dying. And it means that I can Q him on the last hit. And now we're back to equal grounds. We've now covered for the amount of damage that he initially dealt to me. But I'm in an advantageous position when it comes to my lane, because I've got the initiative on the next wave already. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with these minions. I'm going to kill this minion right here. Not out attack anymore, because I can now trade onto him on this minion as well. And this is going to put us in a position where we get another free trade. And you see that because I got the initiative on the first wave, he's now down an insane amount in the lane. So this is the power of using space for lane control, for wave control that is. Now let's take a look at the power of space when it comes to trading. As you can see, I bump him away after he used this cooldown. He cannot access the minion. He cannot manage the minion wave right now. And if he wants to CS, what he needs to do, he needs to run into me. So the only way for him to get the CS with these minions out attacking that minion is for him to literally walk towards me in one direct line, get into out attack range, because I've bumped him away before that. So he now needs to retake space into my abilities, which makes it really easy. It's not a skill shot at this point. It's just so easy to land at this point, or he's going to lose the minion. And this leads us to this beautiful trade onto the Xerath, and now he tries to compensate a little bit. He's got some good movement. It's not a bad player at all. I think he's like high master. But what happens right now is that not only have we gotten the initial CS advantage, trading advantage, the lane advantage, the wave advantage, we're also going to reach the level up advantage. And this is really good, because this now allows us for more trading windows onto the last hits. And the lane is literally over. Now, in this position, in this example, I'm playing Victor versus Ryze. A favorable matchup again. And I have an early ward out. Now this Ryze knows about space, and what he does is he's trying to contest me and make it hard for me to enter in this position. But I know what he's doing, and I want to get this space back to get control over the lane. So I bump him away. I bump him away from the wave, which is allowing me to get control of the lane, because I get control of the wave, and getting me trading windows. And if he wants to trade into me, he's then forced to run into me. Now there's also a defensive aspect of taking up space, right? What you can do is you can bump the enemies away. But when you do that and your cooldown is down, you also have a lot of space to retreat upon, making it hard for them to counteract their trades, because they need to retake all that space into you. You're kind of dancing that tango. If you bump the enemies away at the right times, taking up space in the lane, what happens is that you get into a beautiful position. So this is exactly what I'm going to do right here. He used this cooldown. I've got my Q up. Look at the amount of space that I'm going to be like pressuring him on. And you see that with this guy, in this case, the minions are also slightly close towards my side, right? And after my Q is now down, I can back off, allowing me to wait for my cooldown again without him being able to hit me, and I get it back up and I'm bumping him away. And I'm playing the space in this lane really well, putting him in a position where he's forced to get hit every single time he wants to out attack or walk up towards the wave, because otherwise I'm just bumping him away. And you see that in this case, because of that, I'm just slowly winning the trades. I'm getting lane control purely because of the fact that I'm playing the space in the lane so incredibly well, making him sweat for every single minion here in this position. Absolutely phenomenal example of space usage in the lane. The way I want you guys to compare space, especially using it at level 1, because what I do is I contest space at level 1. It's like getting a head start in a run. If you got a 100 meters run, what you do is you basically start at meter 30 already, which is allowing you to win the lane. A lot of people are AFK at the start of the game. You need to play before the minions collide because it's the head start. It's 30 meters advantage for the 100 meter sprint that you can use to win the lane already. Space is insanely OP, and I want you guys to view it as a resource and as a strategy. How does it work if you're the weaker matchup in the losing matchup? Well, it works the exact same way. In this case, I'm playing Victor versus Syndra. I have 2 examples of this matchup. I got one versus a Grandmaster Victor and one versus Fnatic Poby. In this case, Victor's really late because there was a little bit of invade, so he can't contest the space anymore. This puts me in a position where it's really easy for me to step up, bump him away whenever my cooldowns are coming up, and punish him onto his last hits. So you see right here, I'm trying to punish him onto the last hits. What happens right now, he needs the last hit. I get a Q, I get an out attack on him because otherwise he's going to lose the creep. And we're just basically, with the favorable wave state, putting myself in a position where it's hard for him to play. And yes, he can hit me back, but every single time he's the cooldown, I can just run away because I've got the space in the lane. I'm bumping him away. Once again, level 2 advantage. And this losing matchup, even though that I have even defensive runes as well, I got first strike instead of Airy, is now turned into a somewhat winning position. Because once again, look what he needs to do. I'm contesting space. He's got no cooldown. He needs to run into me to CS this minion right here, putting me into a position where it's easy for me to hit him. And I'm slowly waddling away at his health bar and taking control of a lane that shouldn't be in my control. Now, what happens if you play against someone who's competent and contests the space in you? And you see that in this case, the matchups are reversed. I played a greedy setup again. I didn't know I was going to be versing Poby. And guess what happens? I basically already lost lane level 1. What he does, he now hits me with the Q. He then even drags the minions back. And what happens is that I now need to run into him to contest these minions. And I'm just a victim right now. I'm either going to lose the creeps or I'm going to be in a position where I am going to lose a lot of HP. And you see that his wave state is now fully in control. And he can punish me on all of these minions here. On all of these minions, he can step up, harass me. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose them. So he's got this fantastic wave state, which he did a really good job of building. And because he's got the space control in the lane, he's now reaching the level 2 first. I need to step up the last hit. I'm getting constantly harassed with his abilities. I need to drop creeps, and this lane is just over. This is completely over. Now, how does this work as a melee champion? Because as a melee champion, we can also contest the space in the lane purely to reverse the roles. And this also works, of course, on range champs. But what you do is if you can contest space in the lane in the early game, you can make it hard for them to walk into you. Because if they're clicking into you, what happens is if you click into them, you might just get yourself into range. Champ like Akali can do that. You want to be careful with melee champs that run refillable potion starts, or like a set that doesn't really have much control. You want to be quite careful with that. But especially, you want to take space after they use their spells. So you see right here, I'm not scared to walk up and bump them away instead of just letting them slow push onto me and I'm playing like a victim in the tower. You gotta be willing to bump the enemies away when they use their cooldowns. And yes, you're gonna get hit a little bit, but it's fine since you're a melee champ. You got a little bit of regeneration. You gotta be okay with sometimes bumping the enemies away and controlling the space in the lane. It's very, very important to do that. If you don't, you're going to get slow pushed upon, you're going to play like an absolute victim, and you're going to get harassed in the tower while you're CSing the creeps. Walk it forward. Take the space when the enemies use their cooldowns. Put your body in the area. Don't be shy to trade. Don't be shy to take a little bit of damage, guys. Controlling the space in the lane is very important, and I see no one do this at all. It's incredible what I see. So it's a really simple fix. To really conclude this, to make it very practical for you guys. Number 1. Don't be AFK. Stand in the center of the lane, right? Control the space in the lane because it's going to give you wave control. It's going to give you first initiative on trades. And it's going to put you in a position where the enemies need to run into you, making it easier for you to land your skill shots. It's not a skill shot when the enemies are running into you, when they only have one path they can run. It's just a guaranteed ability, basically. That's the power of controlling the space. So be there level 1, control the space of the lane, and every single time the enemies use a cooldown, bump them away as far as possible without getting into an awkward position. Now, one of the key things you got to be careful of is one thing I really highlight well in this clip right here, is you don't want to bump them away too far. You just want to make sure they can't hit the minions for free, and that they are in a position where they're going to need to run into you onto the minion. One thing that you want to be careful of is you don't want to run into the casters and then get yourself out attack with the casters like the Rise did in the VOD versus Victor. So those are the two key things that if you can apply this in your lane, suddenly your pressure is going to be way higher, your control is going to be way higher, and you're going to actually be able to take over lanes in no time. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And if you're curious about more wave management tricks, more laning tricks, check out this video right here.